Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are at the next topic and that is the quick wins in chess. Through this topic we try to take examples of masters where the games end in merely 20-25 moves. So these are the grandmaster miniatures and today we have got a world champion who is losing merely in 19 moves. So we have got the position just right after the opening. In fact the opening is going on. And we see a world champion who has found himself in a tricky situation. Black is the world champion. I'll tell you who it is and what is the game all about. But first let us understand what's happening in the game. Black has got a pawn but he is suffering in development, we can see. It is white's turn. Black's last move is Bb4. He wants to trade the bishop on D2. So white decides to sacrifice one more pawn and grab the initiative. So instantly goes with the move bishop c4. Idea is simple. He wants to develop quickly and let's see what is the plan. Bishop d2 check. d4 pawn is attacked and now what happens here is white just plays knight e d2. If knight f d2 then d4 is going. Queen d2 allows qc4. So knight e d2 and here perhaps black should have played the move q d8 when of course after castle we can see white has splendid compensation. Black decided to take the pawn with nd4. Of course, bd5 is not possible. nc2 check loses for white on the spot. What did black see? Black thought that after nd4 qd4, rook is hanging on a1, and if castle, then nf6 and bb5 can be met by bd7. So after that, what will happen is at the most white will generate some play. He will get his rooks activated and black might return the pawn on d7. Black will be able to castle and escape easily. But what he missed here, see right now the development is already more and black missed this move perhaps qb2 because what is happening after knight f3 it looks as though knight cannot take because the bishop hangs. But white saw that after knight f3 g takes f3. Although the structure is ruined, white king is also looking badly placed in the center. But look at this queen and bishop. g7 is hanging right now. Queen is unable to occupy this diagonal. Queen c4 is not possible. bb5 check is looming. And suddenly it is very clear right now that black has been caught up. So mostly what he missed is the move qb2. Black goes qg5. Of course, I will let you know why black must have missed this. Because a player of world champion caliber, strong one, will generally not miss such a move like qb2. What should white do here? White has a strong initiative. White instantly goes bb5. He wants to break black's castling and we must already note that now bd7 is very bad. There is firstly bd7, kd7, qb7 winning the rook instantly. There could be some slower moves like bd7, kd7, rook d1 as well when ne4 would be a check. So this forces black to play the king to f8. The move ke7 can be perhaps met by qb4 check kf6 ne4 when the queen would be lost. White goes ne4 attacking the queen. Queen retires back to e7 where it cannot be harassed anymore. White plays a very simple looking and a very dangerous move, rook d1. It should be noted that white's feel of position has been very good. He has understood by now that the position is winning for him and he has not panicked to regain material. Mostly what happens when weaker players they sacrifice material, they want the pawn back instantly or they try to make it some tactics which is unnatural in nature. Okay, white didn't do any of it. He played the very normal move rook d1 and that has a very dangerous threat. Perhaps black saw it but he must have realized that already it's too late. Let's look at some possibilities of defense for black. Firstly, mostly everyone tells me the move nf6. The move nf6 would have done well and all. But the problem with nf6 is there is an instant attack. See, knight f6. If queen takes f6, then there is a small tactic qf6, gf6 and the move rook d8 check. And the trouble after rook d8 check is that ke7 loses this rook and kg7 rook g1 forces the king to leave this rook on h8 and the rook would be lost. After nf6, many like the move gf6. It looks like still black can play on, but here also there is the very strong qd2. As soon as the g pawn moved, white realizes apart from d8, h6 f8 diagonal has become weak, and now here there are double threats. One is queen h6 kg8 rook g1 mate, and other is the previous line with qd8 check. It's game over. Let's say h5 trying to cover qh6, then comes the very strong rook g1. Now the threat is qd8, qd8, rd8, ke7, rook h8. So the rook moves to h7, removing the hanging rook from h8, and now comes qd8 check, queen takes d8, rook d8, ke7 forced, and the simple rook g8. After rook g8, it's a mating threat on e8, rook g8 and rook c8, the piece falls. So white is winning over here. So this is the main problem. Once the development is ignored, the main suffering comes at that time when the opponent tries to recover, tries to complete his development. So most of the tactics happen at that point. Means whenever the side with less development tries to recover, there is a new blow in the position usually. Here there are some other moves also, like the move f5 suggested by some players. Now see, f7 square is there, but we will see that this is also very slow. Firstly there comes rook g1. See, these kind of moves are very important. Understanding the weakness. The point is, if he loses to rook d8, if kf7 then qg7 mate, and qd8 then also qg7 checkmate. Ef is guarded by the bishop on b5. So e5 almost forced, and comes another blow, rook d5. When after f takes e4, there is re5, and several threats are there. Simplest being re8 followed by qg7 checkmate. So qf7 would be especially met by re8, qe8, qg7 checkmate. Finally, there is the possibility of playing nf6 here as well. But now too there is knight takes f6, queen f6 loses similarly. There is rook d8 or queen f6 gf, rook d8 winning the rook. So again g takes f6, and once again qd2. There is no respite from this move qd2. Once again we see that the move h5 is forced, and now comes just qd8, king f7, then the h8 rook just falls, and after qd8 rd8 also same, kf7 and h8 is taken. So white wins in most variations we can see. So the main purpose of showing all this analysis is that we need to understand by this time the position is already losing, and we should not blame what black played in the game that made the combination happen more quickly actually. So nf6 loses, f5 loses, hardly there are any moves now. So there was one more threat here which actually happened in the game. Black went a6 first, trying to drive this bishop away, and then perhaps he wanted to go nf6. But now comes the killer blow, queen a3. This game was filled with some less number of classy moves, but two main points we must note. One is the move gf3 after qb2, and this finishing touch with queen a3, which settles the matter instantly. Now see, absolutely there is nothing. Rook d8 is going to be mate. Moving the pawn f6 and f5 are not going to help, because let's say after f5, rook check, kf7, b8 check, queen into e8 is forced. When it's not going to be rook e8, but the even stronger nd6 check, winning the queen for free absolutely. And if king f8, see the mate with bishop g6 here. So there was nothing much that black could do. Black chose to resign after queen a3 because the only other option, queen takes a3, allows rook d8 check, ke7 and rook e8 checkmate. Look at this pattern. The bishop rook and the knight are capable of checkmating the lone king. In fact, any 3 piece can checkmate the lone king. So this was the game Benitez white versus Max Euwe black. Black's play, we can say, was a bit faltered because he must have underestimated his opponent. It was a simultaneous game. So in a simultaneous game, generally masters have to play so many games together, and maybe he must have missed, or he must have been a bit careless, underestimating his opponent. But nevertheless, White's play was very good. He exploited the lead-in development to the fullest and poor king placing. So I hope you are enjoying these lessons. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.